Hi everyone, Lisa Haven here, and I've got an intriguing report and one that you're going to want to share far and wide that specifically deals with the Illuminati. What I want to do in this report is show you how they are so entrenched in our culture. I mean, Illuminati money all across the globe, not just domestically here in America, but everywhere. And lately, it seems that people have been ignoring who they are and the fact that they truly are pulling the strings of society and what's going on. And what I want to do in this report, which is why I'm sitting here, is I want to take you through their website. They actually have illuminatiofficial.org, I believe. However, I do not believe that the real Illuminati has set up that website. But the reason that I want to take it to you is to show you how much society thinks this is a good thing and how involved they are with the Illuminati, thinking, oh, I want to be a part of that organization, when in reality, it's a purely satanic organization that cares not about the average Joe, but wants that depopulation agenda in the end. That's what they're after. People like Henry Kissinger, George Soros, Hillary Clinton are all a part of it, and they're in the upper ranks. And those on the bottom, are nothing but a bunch of peons in their opinion. That said, I want to just show you how entrenched it is, show you money that has the symbology on it all throughout time. And I'm only going to show you a few. There's like hundreds of these things, but also the website to show you the mass interest from our culture, because I don't think these are things that need to go ignored. This is a hideous organization. We know that just by looking into Hollywood, or Hollywood. Let's go straight there. All right, so here we are on the official Illuminati website, and what I want to show you right off the bat is this logo. You're going to see that on all kinds of money, and again, I don't think they're directly linked to the real Illuminati. I think it's just a fan base, if you will, that somebody put out. I'm going to show you the IP address. But what I want you to see is the amount of people that are saying, yeah, I'm with this, knowing very well the satanic roots of this organization. But 44,000 on Facebook, 5.5 on Twitter, and Google 41K. Why is that? Well, I think Hollywood has a lot to do with that. They wear their symbology and parade it around everywhere. Now, before I delve into some of the nitty-gritty of what this website is, I wanted to show you, this is an IP address where you can look up the IP address and see where it's from, what originated, but it says it's out of San Francisco, California, one of the liberal capitals of the country. So for San Francisco, there, illuminatiofficial.org, you can see it was updated in just April of this year, so they're keeping it up. Map for location over around the Mission Bay area, and registered to daddy.com. Who is daddy? But here is their contact. Their creation date, 2013, so it's been up for a little while, updated, and expires October 3rd, 2019. I hope it expires officially. That'd be nice, obviously. But who it's registered to, that's just the domain owner there. That's all that is. But you can see some of the data for what's involved with this particular address. So back to the website here, what I want to show you is the About page, because people who are joining are obviously reading some of that. It says, the Illuminati is an elite organization of world leaders, business authorities, innovators, artists, and other influential members of this planet. Our coalition unites influences of all political, religious, and geographical backgrounds to further prosperity of the human species. Let me say one thing. The goal here is not to further the prosperity of the human species. Obviously, it's a depopulation agenda, sterilants in the water, and ultimately control over you. If you're members of this, you're just a peon to them, and they will access and want that control. Now, let me also say this. I have done a few reports on this website before, but I think we need to keep it fresh in people's mind to understand the style of folks that I guess we're dealing with. But it gets into some of the symbols, which we all know the symbols. I don't want to get into that, but they have books. You can open up the book. The mark, that sounds a lot like the mark of the beast in biblical prophecy. The pyramid is one, the light around the eye of Ra. And they all think that they'll live eternally. That's kind of what the Illuminati also believes in. I think some think they're gods, but lots of different. They had other books there as well. Wealth of the Illuminati, Billionaires Giving Pledge. So I'm curious, if people are actually donating to these kooks and where the money is really going. But they show pictures of people here, and I just thought that was interesting, who are saying they're billionaires. Some you probably may know as billionaires, but who knows if this is the legit or not. But as I said, I think it's just a ploy. I think it's a front, because in the end, they care not about you. They don't care about you, to be frank. But this is a pretty long list here. And a lot of it is linked to Rothschilds and the whole banking family. But you kind of get an idea there. You can join, contacts, illumination. That's just more of their videos and whatnot. But we are always watching out for you. Better yet, we are always watching you. Now, what I want to do is show you how ingrained it is in our culture. I don't think that I have to show you on Hollywood, because Hollywood's pretty obvious. But right here is a Solus 1792. I believe that's a French Solus. If you notice here at the very top, you can see the eye of the Illuminati. This is some of the money and symbolism that has been all over our money for a reason. It's not just there to be there. You'll notice the eye of Ra. You notice the pyramid. You'll notice owls. All these things pretty much on all the bills. Here we have a Ukrainian 500 note, and you can see down here on that side we have the eye of the Illuminati. They're connecting the federal building, if you will. Moving on, here's an Australian 100 shilling, and you can see she's got her eye up here. But more shockingly, again, we have the pyramid in the eye, and then the Pentagon, which has a lot of satanic notions. But there's the eye there. You saw that one. Moving on to the Portugal note here, you can see the pyramid and faint eye, if you will, or in the center. Moving on, this one here is the World Expo 88, and I believe that would be Australian Expo dollar. You can see the pyramid right here with the eye on top. And of course, we have the American dollar. We have all kinds of symbolism on this bad boy. There is an owl you guys are aware of, and obviously the eye at the very top of the pyramid there. Keep in mind, there are multiple others of these. I just picked about 5 or 6 to show you so you get an idea. Here's the thing. People like Beyonce have admitted, this one that I'll show you, she admitted to being a Illuminati member on Oprah Winfrey, many others. Angelina Jolie, if you've not seen the video clip of her admitting that they do Illuminati rituals on her, I'm going to leave a link below and you can click that and check it. But there's hundreds of these. You guys can Google it and see that there is a lot. But what I want to do is just put out there that we must not forget who the real people are that are pulling the strings, and they're attempting to do things, like usher in the New World Order, bring that depopulation agenda. Agenda 21 is part of that, or now Agenda 2030. Obviously, global cooling, global warming, climate change scam is a part of that agenda as well. But please share this far and wide, because people need to know that these organizations exist. They need to know what they're looking at when they stare at their money. They need to know when they're wearing a t-shirt with the IRA on it, what that means. They need to see the battle. And there's not only a visual battle, but there is also a spiritual battle that is taking place that you can just see it. And it's disturbing. And many people, the Illuminati is linked with, the spiritual side, Satanism, demons, UFO. If you believe in UFOs, I do think UFOs exist. Now, I think that they're interdimensional. They don't have a planet, but I also think that there are many of them that are working in the upper ranks of the Illuminati, pulling strings, talking about the fallen angels, the demonic, the Nephilim of the Bible. And that is what the UFO are, the demonic principalities, the demonic principles that have these throwaway bodies because they cannot mimic what God has done. So we must remember and keep an eye on all of that. That said, please make sure you go to my partner at noblegold.com and make sure you guys are have gold and silver on hand. I do. I believe in it. As you can see, I have a 5-ounce silver coin here. I've got plenty of others, but also my gold here. This is just the one that I bring on. There's more that I have, but noblegoldinvestments.com. Great people over there, and they're the only people I trust, but I'll leave a link below, and obviously it helps fund what I do here with YouTube's cuts as well. All right, one last thing I wanted to share before I let you go, and I thought, I got to share this, and that is this. What are the goals of this organization? Because I think that needs to stay at the forefront of all of our minds. So here are 20 goals that I've put together in the past, and I'm going to list them in link form as well. But number one, first and foremost, is to establish the new world order, a global government. They're already doing this. They have the World Trade Organization, the United Nations. We have all our summits. We have a World Bank. We have the World Church Council. All of these organizations are completely going towards the new world order line. That's a goal of the Illuminati. Number two, to bring about the utter obliteration of all national identity and national pride. Nationalism. They do not want you to be a nationalist, to love the country that you're in, whether you're an American and you love America, whether you're a Spaniard and love Spain, whether you're a Bulgarian and love Bulgaria. It doesn't matter. They want to eliminate any pride for your country. This is the reason they hate Tea Party patriots and why the IRS and everybody attacks those groups, because they want to stomp out nationalism. And we see this playing out today hugely. Number three, to engineer and bring about the destruction of religion. Why would you want to destroy religion? Because it gets in the way of their new world order, especially Christianity, who knows about the Antichrist and all of that. They don't want to have it. Number four, to establish the ability to control everybody through the means of mind control. That was what Brzezinski was all about, or he called the technotronics, worth Googling, topic in and of itself, but it's creating that human robot-like creature more controllable. The fifth, to bring about the end of all industrialization and the production of nuclear-generated electrical power, in which they call the post-industrial zero-growth society, Accepted are the computer and service industries. That's number five, and there's more information on all of these in links below on the Before It's News link. But number six, to eventually legalize and encourage the use of drugs and make pornography an art form. We can see that already playing out. Why would they do that? Because it encourages depopulation, encourages less people in the society. You break up the family. That is what happens as a result. Obamacare. But they're also doing this dumbing down sort of thing, which brings me to number seven, depopulation of large cities using chemtrails, vaccines, fluoride in the water, GMOs, all things that we have currently all across the world. These are all, there's sterilants in there. And if you look, 200 years ago, people weren't dying to cancer and autism. And today it's rampant like never, ever, ever before. Number eight, to suppress all scientific development except for those deemed beneficial to the Illuminati. That's your transgender style stuff. I mean, transhuman style stuff that they're promoting there. Number nine, to cause by means of limited wars in the advanced country, by means of starvation and disease in third world countries, the death of 3 billion people by the year of 2050. We know, according to the Georgia Guidestones, they want population less. So number nine highly details population. There is this report. The paper was produced under the Global 2000 report. It was worth Googling, accepted and approved by action by former President James Earl Carter and Erdwin Musi, the Secretary of the State. Under the terms of this particular report, the population of the U.S. was to be reduced by 100 million by the year 2050. Check out that report. 10, to weaken the moral fiber of the nation and to demoralize workers into labor class by creating mass unemployment. Remember, the civil labor force document. I did a whole video on that. That's another document to Google. Pushes the idea of people here in America working for free. 11, create false flags to keep people everywhere from deciding their own destinies by means of created crisis. 12, to introduce new cults and continue to boost already function ones in the rock music genre. 13, to press for the spread of religious cults, such as Muslim Brotherhood, all these things, because it creates tension and division, and that's what they want. 14, to export religious liberation ideas around the world so as to undermine existing religion, to cause the total collapse of the world economies. Number 13, to take control of foreign and domestic powers. 14, 17, to give the fullest support to supernatural institutions such as the United Nations, the World Court, and all of that. 18, to penetrate and subvert all governments, to work within the governments, destroy them, take control of them via blackmail. 19, to organize worldwide terror apparatus. They need to create a problem to offer a solution of globalism. That's part of that. And 20, to take control of education, specifically here in America. And they're doing that through Common Core because they know if we have the freedom of choice, we'll choose rightly. So they have to force this and brainwash us from the get-go. Now that's the short version, but I wanted to share some of those goals for those who may not know. Those are just a list of 20. Obviously, there's more. Anyhow, wanted to bring you the latest on all of that. This is Lisa Haven signing out.